The beginning of my business, I did not get it right. I did not get it right at all. I was a full-time single parent. I was raising 4 kids by myself. I was responsible for all the finances as well as all the parenting, all by myself. And I really, really, really loved helping people. That was my passion. I started off in my career as a nurse. As you saw, became a life coach. I loved helping people. I couldn't imagine not doing this work. I tried. I did. I tried to have a job. How many of you tried to have a job? I did. It was like 6 months. I made it for 6 months with a job, right? And that was it. I'm technically unemployable. So that left me with, no choice but to learn how to do business. And I sucked at it. And that's just the honest assessment. And during that time, there was a season, especially where I got really, really good at avoiding the repo man because my car was always threatened. Somebody was always threatening to take my car back because I was struggling to make my car payment. I lost a house to foreclosure. I had a very, very rough time in my business. And part of why I had a rough time in my business is I did not understand how to make it work for me. I am a manifesting generator. I can do a lot of things by myself, and I did. And basically, my business organization and my business structure was technically what I'll call spray and pray, right? I tried everything and I tried to do everything at the same time and everything by myself. There were literally years where I only took 2 days off a year unless I got sick. And that only happened like once every 4 years. And I didn't even sleep because I didn't even have customer service automated. I didn't know how to do customer service. I had my laptop under my bed. And even in 2009, when I had my newborn baby, I was still checking my emails in the middle of the night and answering customer service emails because I was so afraid that I would miss the sale or miss the opportunity to get a new client because I needed the money. And so my journey in business had a lot of trial and error in it. And one of the things that I really wanted to commit to, that I have committed to over the years, is making sure that when I train people to do human design as a practice and to become good human design specialists, that I also have to find a way to teach you exactly how to do your business. Because if you can't do your business, if you don't know how to do that business, you can't serve and you can't sustain yourself. And then you end up having to put your passion on the sideline and do something in the meantime, like get a job or whatever, and try to do something that's soul sucking and squeeze that human design piece on the side. And that's exhausting and that's depleting and it's not fulfilling. And you actually can put it all together in a way that works for you. When we look at business, as I said, your business is about serving and it's about being ready to serve. So let me show you when we look at the design of business. When we look at the design of business, if you look at the design of business, we start down at the root center. Business starts in the gate 54 with divine inspiration. That 54 says, I have this place of service that is divinely inspired. It connects with the 32, which is endurance, which means for you to do business, you have to be ready. There's so many things we teach in human design, like for a projector, you have to wait for the invitation, or for generators, you have to have something to respond to. What the design of business shows us is that this channel, the 5432, means you don't have to wait for anything. Your job in the beginning of your business is to set the stage and prepare the way for your business to be seen by the world, right? So many times I hear people say things like, well, how do we do business? How do we market if we have to wait for the invitation, right? That's hard. Max, you can relate to that question as a projector, right? If you have to wait, how do you have to wait for an invitation to market? No one is going to call you up and say, hey, could you market on Facebook, please? Right? No one is going to call you up for that. You can do all the parts of business that are all related to setting the stage. That means building your website, getting your software systems set up, getting your email system set up, getting a blog set up, getting your platform built, getting your business message or your heart-based message out into the world on social media. You can do all of those things without an invitation, without any kind of recognition, without anything to respond to. All you need is passion and a deep connection to divine inspiration. So if you thought that you couldn't build a business because of your type, write that off your list right now. Scratch it out. That's not true. That's not true. Everyone can prepare the business. If we go up to the spleen center, what the spleen center tells us is that business happens when the timing is right. Well, you know what makes the timing right? Being ready. right? Having all those pieces in place. If you're trying to sell, but you don't have a place for people to pay you, that's not uncommon, by the way. If you don't have a system for people to connect with you, if you don't have a website or some place for people to find you, I'm not saying you won't do sales, but I'm saying it's been really hard for you to sell. And sometimes unconsciously, we almost push sales away because we know we're not ready yet. And so I want to just say the right timing is engineered by readiness. And that's a piece in business that, is very important to explore, because really in that 5432, we get the message. The chart shows us we can do better business and we can have success in business when we're ready. But the question is, of course, well, what do you get ready for? What do you need to have ready, right? That's always the big question. So later on, when we talk about 9 things in this blueprint we're going to give you, Mags is going to outline for you what exactly do you need to have ready. When we go to the spleen center and we look at the spleen in the gate 44 connecting to the 26 to the will center, that's that second channel in business. That's where the process of selling lives. That's actually the channel of sales and marketing in business. By the way, that's the same channel that is about transforming patterns of pain and healing trauma in order to step into greater value and beauty. And so when we start talking about sales and marketing, we're also talking about giving people hope. We're talking about giving people a path to begin the journey of transforming pain into a place where they can heal and step into a place of higher value, to step into the full expression of the heart of who we are. That's literally what you're doing with your business, right? And every layer of your business, from your website to your marketing to your email to your sales process, everything you do in business is really about bringing people back to that very simple journey. That journey of saying, I see you. I see where you're hurting. I understand your pain. And in some cases, some of you have even been, when you're working with your clients, you've been where your clients have been, right? Taking your client on that journey from that place of pain or fear, because there's fear in that spleen center, and transforming them through the work that they do with you into a place where they see their value. They heal any place where they're out of integrity with themselves. And then when we see the 2145, the last channel, business is about sharing. It's about literally sharing from the heart of who you are. And so I wanted to show you this because to me, when I see this, anytime I come up against a growth edge in my business, and there's always a growth edge in business because it's also a personal journey of your own stepping into your power, your own claiming your own value, right? That anytime we come up on that growth edge, I always have to go back and remind myself, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about my ego. It's not about my capacity. It's not about, am I good enough? Although that kicks in some days, right? It's about, how can I help more people transform pain and fear into a deeper alignment with their authentic self, the heart of who they are, and help them see the preciousness, that once in a lifetime cosmic event that they were born to fulfill? That's what your business is. That's what your business is about. When you understand how to focus in and be ready, that's that 5432, how to focus in and be ready, it sets you up to get started doing this work in the world. And honestly, I can't think of more important work to do in the world right now than to help people heal pain and fear and trauma and step into a different perspective, a healed perspective on their value, who they are, and the heart of what they're here to bring into the world.